In this clip, the following strand is the focus: systematic teaching of situational appropriateness with language and behavior.
We're going to get into our language arts activity. Today we're going to talk about situational appropriateness. And what that means is certain situations call for a certain type of language. It may be home language or school language. Exactly. Now, I want you to look at the different scenarios. One might be a birthday party, a job interview. They're all different. I'll pass them out to you, and then I want you to do a think, pair, and share with your partner and decide what language is most appropriate for this particular situation.
I had the students compare and contrast certain situations or scenarios. There was a phrase on the back of the picture, and they could read the phrase or look at the picture, and they would discuss if they were supposed to speak home language or school language in that setting.
We're going to do a whip around. I want you to tell me, just choose one scenario. Each person choose one scenario, and I want you to describe whether that situation calls for home language or school language. We'll start with Raven, and we'll end with Tariq, so it'll whip this way. Okay, let's start with Raven. Choose one setting.
At the golf game. I think it is school language.
Okay.
I think it is school language.
Where is it?
At the news.
Okay.
At the computer lab. School language. At the job, school language.
Say it again.
School language.
And where is the setting?
At the job.
At the job. What's the last word on that page? Turn around.
Interview.
Interview.
Listening to music at home. Home language because you're at home and it's like a rap song. Playing cards because you're like it's at home and you're playing something at home.
So what language would that be?
It will be home language.
Okay, very good.
Playing video games. I think is home language because you're playing it at home.
Now I'm going to give you some opportunities to speak either home language or school language. And this is a kinesthetic activity, so you will be allowed to get out of your seat and move around the classroom. You will get either a sentence in home language or school language. You have to find a person that has your sentence, the same sentence, but it will be code switched. It will be code switched into home language or school language.
The sentence strips had examples of home language or school language written on them. The students had to read the sentence strip.
After you have finished reading your sentence, you can get up, move about the room.
And they were color-coded, so all of the pink sentence strips were in home language. All of the blue sentence strips were in school language. They had to find someone that had the same sentence strip as they had, but it was code switched. Then they matched up with their partner, and they had to walk to the front of the room, and they were able to share out their sentence, and one person read it in home language, and the other person code switched it in school language.
Okay, he be funny. He is funny. We be having fun at school.
We are having fun at school.
My mom cooked tacos last night.
My mom cooked tacos last night.
My candy cost 50 cents.
My candy cost 50 cents. Okay, now each partner should have had one sentence in home language and the other in school language. Do you see how they were code switched?
Yes.
Okay, now let's get some practice of our own. I'll go ahead and collect these. Make your way back to your seat. You can get with a partner.
Building upon the learning styles and strengths of standard English language learners, I realized that they love to play games. So I brought in another activity where the kids were able to play a game using home language and school language.
Anyone ever play concentration?
Yes.
How about memory?
Yes.
How about Old Maid?
Yes.
Go Fish?
Yes.
Okay, this card game is similar to those type of games, but the difference is you're going to have one sentence in home language and you have to match it to the sentence in school language. So what I want you to do when you get your cards with you and your partner, read over each sentence first. Once you have read all the sentences so you understand that they have matches, turn the cards face down. Then you're going to go through and flip them over individually and trying to find the match.
They were given cards, and the cards had examples of home language and school language on them as well. And instead of like a concentration or a memory game where you find the exact match, they had to find the code-switched match or the contrastive analysis match.
5 cents.
No,
We watched this already. Okay, my turn.
I had
We watched this
during the party.
Right here.
I thought of them.
All right. I go. I go. Okay, can I have your attention? All right, we're going to do a share out. So I see some of you have already made matches, and I want you to share just one of the matches that you made. So I'll just pick a stick, and when I call that person, you can do a share out. I may not get to everyone, but a few of you will get a chance to share, okay?
Let's go to Jessica's house. Let's go to Jessica's house.
He walked to school this morning. He walked to school this morning. Uncle gave me 25 cents to buy an ice cream. My uncle gave me 25 cents to buy an ice cream.
Excellent, Shane.
The last activity that we did was the language sort. They were able to fill in the blanks on the activity and decide if they wanted to put their friends or family, classmates.
I'll put them right here. I'll put MJ and Tyler. That's now.
With the language sort, they have to compare the different examples of sentences, and they have to read them and decide, well, what category does this sentence fit in? And they would cut out the sentence strips and paste them in an appropriate category. The primary reason why we did the activity was so the students have ample opportunities to practice code switching or practice contrastive analysis. Then that way they see it explicitly and they're able to realize, or they can hear or see the difference in home language and school language. Raven and Tajay are going on a field trip to a museum. What language would you speak in that situation? Very good.
In these clips, the following strands are the focus: standards-based teaching with culturally responsive literature, systematic teaching of situational appropriateness with language and behavior, and expanding on academic vocabulary based on conceptually coded words.
In the unit that we've been doing, called Our People Built This Nation, we have studied various nation builders, people who have helped make this country what it is today. One of those people that we've already studied is Ida B. Wells Barnett, and so we've already read through the book once. Ida B. Wells Barnett, A Voice Against Violence. What we're going to do today is paired reading. So you are going to get with your partner and you are going to reread an important chapter, chapter 4, which is called The Struggle Against Violence. Now I'm going to review quickly again what's expected of you during paired reading. We started with culturally responsive literature, Ida B. Wells Barnett, because we've been studying the Nation Builder unit. And so after I had already read it aloud to them, we went back for a second reread. And so we use reciprocal teaching with the paired reading, where they use questioning, clarifying, summarizing, etc., in order to check for comprehension.
You know, like they changed the laws, and took away black people's rights.
No, now I know why they went. Now I know why she went here. On June 27th, 1890.
Why do people think Ida stopped working?
Maybe because she had got married and it was probably difficult to start working since she had a child. But since the baby was born, her work was better.
Okay, one good thing that a good reader does is identify what a character is like by the things that they do or the things that they say. One of our third grade standards is to be able to look what a character says or does and determine their characteristics, their personality traits. So what we did was using the information from Ida B. Wells, since we've already read it once and we reread a part of it, we went back to find adjectives that describe them. So what we are going to do is we are going to think of some adjectives to help describe Ida B. Wells Barnett. Adjectives. We're going to use think, pair, share. What is an adjective? Think. Once you have it in your mind, go ahead and put your hand on your head to show that you're ready. Okay, turn to your partners. Pair up.
An adjective is something that describes amicable.
Table 4, person 3. That'd be Joshua. What is an adjective?
An adjective is like a word that describes something about a noun.
Okay, so we are going to think of adjectives that describe Ida B. Wells Barnett. And we're going to add them to our bubble map. Because our bubble map is used to do what? Give me a shout out. That's right. That's right. We're using a bubble map to describe